I don't like to see my students, especially those that are just getting involved, acquiring anything other than
That's weird.
multifamily, retail space, mobile home parks, or self-storage in the war zones. And again, those page numbers won't make sense. Talk to Kenny about getting into the live classes. The war zone will be a tough area, and tough areas are going to breed tough tenants, especially if we're working single family. Now, the war zone is definitely not a working class neighborhood. Completely different. Now, in a lot of markets, you could look at one street as a war zone and go 3 blocks over, and it's working class neighborhood, meaning that people take care of the properties. There's a good sense of community, and that turns into profit in this business, okay? Now, as we start to take a look and break these down, regardless of the area that you're in, regardless of what it looks like, how it's shaped, the reason I show you this map is I want you to grasp that you need to map out your territory first. Okay, write that down. I need to map out my territory first so that I know what I would do with that type of property before I ever got involved. Would I hold it? Would I sell it? What is going to be the best possible exit strategy for that deal? Okay. Now, as you look at this area, you're also going to find some streets, some areas that will be what we call transitional. These pockets that are transitional, we need to be very careful with, but we can make the most amount of money here. Meaning, it was at one point in time a yellow area, a middle income area, but the war zone's pushing into it. We want to stay out. It was at one time a yellow street, a middle income area, but individuals are buying the houses, fixing them up, turning them into nicer, newer homes, and we're going to be in a green zone income area, a green zone price point, which is going to give us far more profit. Now, I see somebody that typed down there, what is rehab? I'm going to talk about rehabbing versus remodeling as we come up. We talked about it from a price point, a profit point yesterday. Rehab being $35,000 is a minimum, meaning inside the walls, structural work, mechanical work, electrical being redone, plumbing being redone, versus it just being cosmetics, paint, carpet, landscaping. I'll cover some of that for you as you come up. This is a picture of one of the systems that we utilize to analyze our marketplaces that we're in, that we're working in, without having to be there. Okay, we looked at California, and there's some folks on here from out west. High-end area, war zone, our middle-income areas start to take place. Now, when we know this without having to step foot in that market, then we can make some tremendous amounts of profit with team members without ever having to see, touch, smell, or feel the property. Chicago is another great area. Illinois is one of those markets that is trending in different ways in different areas. We have the South Side War Zone. We know about that. We see it on the news. Okay, guys and gals. We have the western suburbs, the high-end areas, our north and south middle income areas, and then we have these transitional zones where things are actually going to be picking up or going south. This is pushing south. As we start to look at this war zone pushing south, we've got to stay out of this area. Sure, we could get some great property buys, but like this is so close to an area that is undesirable. We worry about price points going and occupancy going outside of where we can control. Our middle income areas becoming high-end areas. Okay, this has all gone through some tremendous growth very recently. All fantastic, but I got to tell you, these undefined areas, This is what we're truly looking for as investors, where we can make the most profit potential is our transitional zones. Transitional zones, where we can find the worst house on the best street and create an immediate profit. Areas that are trending upwards, not at 5% in appreciation a year, but at 20, 30, 40, 50% in appreciation every year. Now, that doesn't become a consistent number, but it will happen for sometimes 2 or 3 years consistently, to where we can go in and buy below value and expect growth. How do you? I saw the answer before I read the question. So y'all can't blame me for laughing when I see Ask Ken. How do you find out which area is what? You can ask Ken. There's tools that we use for this. Our real estate success software, the Rich Dad Real Estate Success Software, Legacy Real Estate Success Software, is a great proprietary tool.
The software.
You can research this through real estate professionals. Your real estate professionals, your realtors can tell you where's the middle income areas, where are the high end areas, where are the war zones. You could do it by driving through the areas. Now, this is just a joke, but because number one, fuel's expensive today. And if you're just driving around aimlessly, you're damaging our environment for nothing other than money. And that's not worth it. Number three, your time. Don't be driving neighborhoods going, oh, this is a decent neighborhood. There's kids out after school playing basketball. Unless you're on your way home from work. Somebody said, not in Chicago. Exactly. Look, here's how I would explain a war zone. You're afraid to get out during the day.
Oh, man.
Like you're driving down the road, locking the doors, and the sun's shining with your sunglasses on. Yep, we've all been in that neighborhood. That's a war zone. Why in the hell would we go out driving around looking for that? There's far better ways to find it than that, okay? I'm from there. Now, that doesn't mean it's a bad neighborhood. I'm just teasing. I'm poking fun here. We all get to have fun and laugh and chuckle on these sessions, or we wouldn't be spending our time together. You do understand, though, that these areas change. What once was the war zone will one day again be a very predominant neighborhood. They come around. They become very eclectic, and people go into abandoned, run-down buildings, and they turn them into nice businesses, nightclubs, restaurants, cafes, bakeries, whatever the case may be. But we also have to understand why those transitions take place so that we can profit from them. Apparently I've struck some nerve or had some good stuff to talk about there. I see a lot of that interaction. Let me just put this stuff up here so you can write down what makes up a green zone. Oops, it's going to skip on me. I will come back to this. Hang on 1 second. Green zones. Green zones are where you're going to see your highest profit. Okay. Lowest DOM or days on market, meaning if we have a property we're looking to sell, they sell very quickly, 90 days or less. Highest price point, lowest prime, best schools. So I see some Mary type old money neighborhoods seem to be next door to downtown areas. Yeah, right. You'll see those go. You'll see a lot of downtown areas, especially the residential side of the real estate, go from. And look at this in your downtown areas. Now I'm giving you a little bit of further information here. Downtrodden. Gotcha. Let me kind of give you an understanding of how that cycle could work. A metropolitan area that is outskirted by residential homes. Those residential homes, at one point in time, they're bought up, they're turned into apartments up top and retail on the bottom. Small mom and pop, one-off type shops. Later on down the road, the whole property is bought and it's turned into a big, beautiful restaurant. That's a cycle in real estate. Those properties go through a change in pricing, a dramatic change in pricing. Not only that, but for the owner that can adjust and engineer the businesses to be involved in that property without losing control of it is going to make far more money. Okay? DOM, days on market. Yep, I see some folks have answered that for us. That's awesome. I appreciate your interaction there. That's fantastic. What's the name of the software? Talk to Ken about our real estate success software. Our real estate success software. Our RESS, real estate success software. Fantastic software for market analysis, community analysis, foreclosure, pre-foreclosure database, and contracts, all wrapped up into one system. So talk to Ken about that. Everybody needs the best tools out there. Is it free? No. Wow. Yeah. You get what you pay for in life. And I got to tell you, you can get some stuff out there on the market. You can Google it. It's free. But don't ever believe anything you Google. Number one, you'll Google whatever you find. Google your car. Good stuff about it. You'll find all the good reviews you want about it. Google for bad reviews. You'll find all the bad reviews about it that would make you never want to sit in it and drive down the road again. Okay. But yeah, these tools, guys and gals, they're very inexpensive for the services that they're giving us. When you consider being able to get a free report from a realtor on what a property's worth, well, look, if I'm doing that 20 times a month, the realtor's going to get sick and tired of dealing with me until I make them some money. And even then, they're going to get sick and tired of dealing. Better yet, you're going to be wasting your realtor's time sending you reports on property value versus marketing their business so that they can provide you a better service. Just a little tidbit there as we move along. Lowest crime, best schools. You can do anything in these areas as long as the numbers work out. In our yellow zones, okay, you're going to find far more opportunity, meaning less competition. Many of your deals are going to be here. These areas evolve after. You'll know where they are and how they function after you know where the high-end areas and the war zones are located. Most exit strategies available, by far the greatest cash flow. What I mean by number 4, the most exit strategy available is this. People want to buy in the green zones, the high-end areas. They don't want to rent. Okay? In the war zone, in the low-end areas, people want to rent, but they don't necessarily want to buy. In the middle-income areas, we can serve both purposes. We can rent and we can sell. We can also do that from a position where we become the bank and we carry the financing. In our war zones, guys and gals, there's far less ways to exit the deals. They're great for rentals. We can wholesale assign them to experienced investors or tear them down and hold them for, higher and better use later on down the road. I'll go back in just one second. But it's good for experienced investors only, I like to say. The irony in why so many newbies start in the red war zones is because it is cheap. It's cheap. Well, you can write this down next to that paragraph. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, hopefully my computer doesn't lock up trying to go backwards. I rarely do that because I'm the person that thinks we always need to move forward, and going backwards has a terrible connotation to me. But in this case, I know some of y'all are typing going, no, we needed to get this. But in this case, I do it. It scares me though when I look at my computer going, I hope it doesn't lock up.
It's like a really.
Oh, and now people can't hear what I'm saying. I hope you can hear me okay.
It's really.
Does everybody hear me okay? Give me a one-letter answer. Why, if you can hear me okay.
Deep.
All right, we're moving on. So those are the yellow zones. I'll give you a second to type that in. I'll give you a second to type through the red.
It's like if you go through a psychology thing, it's like he just wants to keep moving forward. He doesn't want to go back. That's why he gets mad at questions. Like, I feel like I'm going back. But then he gets thrown off too. And he moves forward slowly. Yeah. So. Because it's cheap, that's it. Yeah, see, if we jumped into it, dude, it's like, shit.
No exit strategy.
He's like, where did we buy a house? You get the software and we see, it's like the reddest, the middle of the red.
It's crazy. They don't have in the
software. I was just giving you a minute to write these zones down. As somebody to ask that for that to be done,
you know how
and then
we'll move forward. Yellow zones, red zone, green zones. That's like
I'm here. I was just giving you a second to write that down.
I don't think there's software.
I do hit mute, so you don't.
Yeah, he said his software does that. Really? Yeah, the RESS. Right, so it helps us specify. So I'm actually like learning, narrowing my houses. It's like now I know a location. Now I know it's got the appreciation's got to be 5%. Now that I know, once it hits 10%, that's when you know when to sell. Now that I know that you have to ask 30% less of instead of 100,000. You have to try and get it for 70,000. You can't be embarrassed.
I gotta tell you, Martin. I know I said you can't be offering advice. Can everybody hear me? Can't be offering advice or information on here, but if you got that technical advice, we're down with that because I know how to email on computers. I know how to turn them on and off. That's pretty important.
You gotta have the sunglasses on.
And I know how to click through this session. But other than that, I'm about lost. And I've got a great team of individuals, including Ken and Mark and Kevin, individuals you may eventually have the point, the ability to meet within this organization that help me put all this stuff together. This is not just a one-man or woman operation, let me tell you. Because, like I said, I can push the arrow button over and talk to y'all. But the rest of it's going to be on someone else's shoulders. So if you have any fears about the technology, or if you have any fears about, the actual human interaction, a lot of times we come together on something like this, like a webinar, we're going, I'm good on a computer, but I got to talk to people one-on-one. I got to make offers. We'll help you with all of that. The class settings that we offer, so phenomenal for our students to be able to grow on their own basis from where they're at in their business. It's unreal. I got to tell you that. It's unreal. So now moving forward, what do we do with this? When we find a deal.
For real?
Y'all are just doing some more explaining out there, guys. When we find this deal, we're going to look at a few different things. Now, this is a tool as well, but this also gives you the information that we need to look at for any potential opportunity. This is the deal we're going to talk about right now. It was listed on the MLS. Can you find good deals on the MLS, the multiple listing service? This is for realtors who list their properties. Yes. Problem with that is the amount of time it takes you to find the best deal. Okay? Not a good return on your time. But we want to be able to find the great ones. So there are tools, there are systems out there. Talk to Ken about what they're called for finding these types of opportunities where it's listed for $159,000. It's been on the market for 200 days. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. 2,889 square foot, built in 79. Now, this has not been updated. These have. The system gives us the sold comps. These properties have sold. Okay? Listed for $250, sold for $240, in 4 days. 4 bedroom, 2 bath, 2,600 square foot. So it's smaller and it was built 2 years earlier. Listed at 214, sold at 220. 199 for 202. So this is a $200,000 to $240,000 market
That's perfect.
based
So you
on
live in
property
Alabama.
size. Okay?
You guys don't have to
And
pay rent.
finishings.
So you guys like
The
just rent
finishings
out
are a
money.
big changing
But why Texas?
point when it
My house
comes
is
to price. So we know we have comparable properties. We know we have a very viable deal here that is listed for $159,000. Now through what we call boots on the ground, you don't have to look at, smell, touch, feel this property. You need to have the right team members in place to help you put this deal to bed. Now, there we go.
You can't.
Having a tough time clicking through.
I think she
This is
bought
a
house on
yellow
Alabama.
zone,
The
a
market price.
yellow zone transitioning
Like the worst.
rehab, where we were able to purchase this property, where you see it here, marked as the subject, regardless of the fact that there was a freeway and a train station right next door. Sound barrier works very well, so we knew we were okay to move forward. You must have boots on the ground or individuals in the property's area to verify these things for you. Even if you've never seen it, never touched it, never smelled it.
Like, see, you can buy a house like that.
Before, nothing to be afraid of. This is just simple cosmetic work. And
You gotta
after,
take up the stairs. You gotta put like ramps.
pressure washing the property, painting the steps, changing the handrail, and adding some good landscaping will truly turn a property around. Now, we'll look at the numbers behind both interior and exterior rehab. Underneath carpet, you know you're going to have the hardwood floors. Same paint always throughout the house. You can write this color down. It is Navajo sand.
Regardless of the win-win situation.
Navajo
Even if a business is
sand.
survive, you can always
Paint
sell
your
it.
properties any color you want to, as long as that color is Navajo sand. Yep, you got it. It is such a light color that you can color over it with almost one good coat of a heavy white base, let alone any other colors. Any other colors, one coat, you're done. It's a very, very good primer. But it's a great colored paint that, as you can see in this property from start to finish, changes in shade and actual color based on the light, based on
For the walls.
the colors surrounding the room. Now, this property was a very simple remodel.
Yeah.
Nothing inside the walls, just cosmetic paint, carpet, and landscaping. The property was listed for $159. It had a fair market value of $200,000 as it sat. The reason those properties don't sell in that position, okay? Oh yeah, that's exactly why, because it's neutral. It's very neutral. It's not just white where people are looking for a padded room going, this is a damn insane asylum. And look, some folks are going, yeah, but I like a blue accent wall or purple accent wall or red accent wall. And I just struck a nerve with 80% of the crowd going, no, red accent wall, I'm walking right out the front door of that property. Do not ever ruin a buyer over a can of paint, especially when it's your idea. Let them decide that. So we were able to put this property under project for $150,000, $10,000 to force the value through remodel, which means at the end of the day, the value is $220,000. So at sale, that is a $60,000 profit. Okay, meaning we're gonna buy the property at $150,000. Just let me type some stuff in here before y'all respond to this. See some folks typing. Guys and gals, we're in and out of these buy, fix, and sell properties in 90 days.
Wow.
This property is slightly different. Now check this out. $150,000 is our purchase price.
The caregiver is in.
We're into it for $10,000 as repairs.
House, mobile home.
A $220,000 sale.
All-
Okay.
overall,
Yep.
I spent
160
$150
grand.
selling it.
$220,000 sale would leave us with
But she used her own money. She didn't use it.
60 grand in profit.
So,
With the exception of it happening in 90 days, 50% of it would go out in taxes. Yeah, there you go. So one of the things I had mentioned was
within 90
I'm not a
days.
big fan of a 1031 exchange. Can we use it? Yes, a lot of business partners, a lot of individuals use it to defer their taxes till the end of the line. Now, let me give you a rundown of what I see very savvy investors using that strategy
How much do you
for.
pay your team?
Yeah, no.
Defer through property sale, through property sale, through property sale. My time comes, the cash goes to an inheritance at that point. They pay an inheritance tax, not a cap gains tax. For students who may be building a business and needing to take that capital out to grow their business down the line, there's a program for them to capture those taxes, the higher taxes at that point in time. More importantly, as you're going to see with one of the deals that we dive into here through the rehabbing phase, I can refinance the property, take the cash back as a loan, hold it, remain in an equitable position, cash flow, and pay no taxes on the gain because it is borrowed money. Yes, we'll have a note. Yes, we'll be holding the property, but that's also a part of my portfolio income. And I think y'all remember that from yesterday in the circle of wealth, the earn, the passive, and the portfolio. To hell with a 401k and IRA. We can make far better returns when we control the money ourselves. Do not buy these type of fix-up properties based on what your eyes, or more importantly, your nose tell you. If it's so smelly you can't hardly walk in the front door, that's money to be made. If there's a little nick, little ding, jump on it. We have to be able to look at these pieces, analyze the deals, and move forward with them for what they're worth. Okay? Do not ever buy this business based on what your eyes or your nose tells you. I don't know if that's what you're asking me to repeat, but the other part was that I can buy a property, fix it up, not sell it, take my cash out as a loan and pay no taxes on that portion of my proceeds. There's never a tax paid on borrowed money. Would I pay tax on the income that I'm going to generate because it is a now hold, rental, or seller financed property? Yes. But my tax on passive income is far lower than that unearned income. Now, let's move along, guys and gals, so we can get towards the end of this evening. I don't want to keep you all too late or people will start to check out. Remodel, outside the walls, non-structural, minimal work. This is the $15,000 profit, okay? Well, we're buying it, fixing it up, selling it, leasing it with an option to buy, whatever our exit strategy will be. This baby doesn't need anything on the outside. It's gray vinyl siding. You don't like it? Paint it. Okay?
You would have checked out too, huh?
Paint, carpet, and landscaping. Paint, carpet, and landscaping. So flooring in essence. And landscaping. not electrical systems. Now, remember this: when you look at this property, this is one that we rehabbed for some clients as a general contractor.
Especially
Our job as general contractors is not to save you money. It's to handle the job that you give us as long as you pay us to do it. So when you look at things like this, I would want you to write this down, strip the interior first. Gut the interior of the property first. Then go to the
I
exterior
would do so.
and start rehabbing the property, bringing the exterior up to its full potential. So if somebody walks by, they don't see this property, okay, completed on the outside. This is the same property, guys and gals, before, after. Stone veneer, new door, painted. That's it. Stone veneer, new door, painted. That's it, okay? You do not want an individual to walk by that face
I would.
and see this interior, okay?
How much you pay the team?
Strip the
Yeah.
interior first, and then when the house is completed and on the outside, we have the ability to advertise it. No one wants that kitchen, but if they walk into an open space, they realize they can pick their finishings for what will be the end.
Wow, that looks a lot
result.
better.
Same kitchen,
Like a lot of
slightly
houses
different
have walls.
location for the
And newer
picture.
houses now have big
However,
walls.
the pass-through wall is gone, which opens it all up.
Mhm.
I seen something up here. Refi and use proceeds on a new property.
You know how you have that wall
So,
between the kitchen and
Mary,
living
you
room?
said refi and use
We're not that
proceeds
long.
on a new
That's how you have
property.
newer
Is
houses
that
coming out now.
what you said to avoid 50% taxes? Now, here's what I want you all to remember. Never use the word avoid and taxes in the same line. All right? I hope some of y'all can appreciate what I'm telling y'all there. Never use the word avoid and taxes in the same phrase, period.
It's legal.
It is not what I'm talking about, avoiding taxes. What I'm referring to is this. And I'll explain this to, I'll tell you what. I'll repeat this process. Can
It's
you repeat the
unethical.
alternative to the
It's
1031? I
unethical, I
can,
Maybe.
because it seems to be that's a big question. Before
you,
you have, it's jumping because people are typing. Oh,
Anyways.
here we are. Before you rehab, do you get an inspector to see what's wrong with the property? Our team does that for us all in-house today. If you've never rehabbed a property, should you have an inspector? I believe so, yes.
Of course.
They're going to give you a snapshot in time of the property's condition and expected life
and
expectancy.
they give the
However, I feel you should have 3 good contractors that are on your side, that can tell you far better than the inspectors would, okay? I don't inspect any properties outside of my own internal organization anymore. Now, as we start to look at that 50% tax piece, I'm sorry, we didn't even get past this property. Bonus space. Guys, gals, if you're in an area where there's basements, finish them. It is bonus space. You're not going to get the same above ground dollar amount for subterranean area, but you will gain marketability. And again, more marketing, the better marketing, the more money. So in some cases, if it's a walkout or if there's a way out of the area, we could call it a bedroom. We could add living space to a basement. Now, as we start to look at how to run accurate numbers and not be scared by the fact that the demolition's already been done, we also need to be able to pick out the catastrophic errors, the catastrophic issues where we have stucco over wood lath. Some of y'all will look at this and know you can't do this. This is not the acceptable construction method. And could you purchase this property? Yes. At the right price point with the right exit strategy. We'll talk about that coming up. I just saw a question. Can I walk into a deal of 150 grand property with 20 grand? Well, that is a completely vague open question. You going to use hard money? You going to use credit cards to buy it with? I'll use a credit card to buy it with. Are you going to fix it up? Are you going to sell it? Are you going to hold it? You know, that's just such a bland question. I don't even know how to answer it. So I think you're just like shooting from the hip there. If it's a real deal, talk to Ken about it because we need to know far more about it. Okay, you're going to walk in the deal of 150 grand. Does it need any fix up? Are you going to hold it and rent it? Is that the only $20,000 you have? Do you need that money back pretty quickly? Because renting it wouldn't be a damn good idea.
Not like brand new.
At what, $200 a month? If you're going to sell it, how long can you afford to hold it? 90 days. Do you have a list of buyers ready to go? See, these are the things you need to drill down on, not just throwing random BS. I'm sorry. I call that blue sky questions. Okay, can I buy a property for 150 grand with 20,000 bucks? Well, does that mean all I got's 20 grand and I'm in a market where most properties are 150,000 bucks? I don't know what you mean by that. So talk to Ken about what it is you're questioning there, because that's really vague, and I want to make sure that we get through the lesson that we have yet this evening. Okay? So we've run good numbers. We know what this thing's going to look like, or we know that it's a disaster. We've got to understand that. This is left side before, right side after of a property we've purchased, guys, fixed up, and will be in our family forever. As far as our business is concerned, because of the type of profits that it generates, what it does for us. Now, here's what I mean by that. Some folks will look at that left side picture and go, oh, no way.
You sanded
but the end result is the picture on the right. Okay? Simple construction process, rehabbing at its finest. This is outside of a remodel where it's just cosmetic paint, carpet, and landscaping. This is a full gut rehab. Something that takes a little bit of time and understanding in order to profit at a high level. Now, this property was purchased. I'm going to type some stuff in down here, guys and gals, because I'd rather just give you these live deals, the new deals, fresh. Remember, you make your money when you buy. So don't type in as I go through this. I'll take some questions before we finish here at the end of this. We purchased this property for $4,500. Okay. I'm going to call that $5,000 to make life easy. Yes, there's a few closing costs. Yes, there's some other expenses that go with it.
Let's go buy a house.
Ballpark figures. 5th grade math communication. I'm going to do this K through 12, start to finish, so everybody understands what is taking place. When we purchase this type of property at $5,000 in a good neighborhood, okay? This is the same kitchen. Before, after, done. It's a little different view. This is down the steps that you saw earlier.
It requires a lot of hands.
This is a fantastic lease option or rental market, not something we typically want to sell. Okay, and here's why. The repairs were $35,000.
In most cases, the floors are straight already, though.
I know, but when you put new tiles in or something, you know, or it may
so we have a $5,000 purchase, a $35,000 repair. Simple, guys and gals. 5th grade math communication. You're doggone right. It's not that easy, though. You're talking about credit, cash, retirement accounts, livelihoods, people's well-being. That's why this stuff gets scary. Holy cow, I said don't type for a minute. Let me go through this, and we can't even follow that. This business probably ain't for you. Hang on for a minute. Stop typing. Very good. Hang on.
Just put J and like leave it there.
If you don't see the difference in this picture to this picture, this business probably isn't for you. Okay? We got to go through some simple stuff here. 25 people are going, holy shit, let him finish. It's the same damn kitchen. One before, one after. Tenant safety? Are you kidding me? Who the hell would allow somebody to consider living in some shit like that? We're talking about buying a property cheap, fixing it up, and now I've got broken numbers in the text bar. And I got to start all over. So again, I'll take questions when I'm done. One of the number one abilities we have to communicate is the ability to listen. And listening doesn't mean shit if we don't comprehend what is being said. Now, I'm not saying that to be rude or disrespectful. I'm saying it in a joking manner because here's what really happens. People get excited and they're like, oh, check that out. I can throw somebody in that mess and make money? No. We got to do some work here. We have to change some things. And now I got typing going on. Hang tight, y'all.
Keep going forward. Go. Keep moving forward.
Because I can't start until this typing's, now we're talking. Oh, now we're back to typing. I can't start until the typing stops. I can't explain the 1031. I can't explain the entrance. I can't explain the exit.
He's trolling, dude.
Right, now I'm going to start again, but
Okay.
here we go. I don't want to talk about it. I want to be about it. I love that. Awesome. If you want to be about it, send Ken a message right now. Email him. I'm sure you got the technology, the ability. I don't know how to do that. I'd be like minimizing screen. You might be able to just minimize and listen. Send him a message. Say, hey, I want to do this stuff. Well, I don't care what he's saying. Dial me in on this lifestyle because what's he been doing for the last 2 weeks? What's he going to be doing for the last two? For the next two? Nothing. Spending time with his family. Check this out. Here's what I'm going to say before I go forward. I'm going to type this in here so that we can actually learn something before we go back into this deal. 95% of the damn population know how to do something.
That's a very vague stat.
95% know how to do this, know how to turn that property into what I'm going to show you, know how to do the work, make the tile look good, market it, contract it. You know what? I don't give a rip how to do it. Here's the neat part. 5% of the population, they know why we're doing this. Here's the other crazy part.
Oh, you okay?
When it comes to the money,
Please be careful.
there's a
I think
95%
you should help me. You know, wear that every day.
Zen,
and
stop.
there's a,
No,
you got
Zen.
it,
Be careful, okay? Next time. I know you're hurt.
5%.
Okay?
5% of the population, okay, 5% of the population controls 95% of the money because we know why. 95% of the population controls 5% of the money because they know how, not why we're doing this stuff. Huge difference here. But I'm going to show you still how we structure this deal to go from that kitchen to this kitchen.
Ask him how did you
It's the same damn kitchen, okay? It's the same property that I'm talking about. From here until the time I end this evening, we're on the same deal. All right, and I'm going to start typing some numbers back in there. At the end, I'll ask for a couple questions. We'll go from there.
If it wasn't
Purchase.
my
I'll throw something else in here too on this one. So we're gonna start over. We purchased this property for $5,000. Some of y'all want to ask the question: where'd you do that? How'd you do that? Talk to Ken about it, guys. I'm here to teach y'all why, not how. In 4 damn hours. I hope y'all understand that. I can't. I'd love to come out and see me live. I'll spend 3 days with you doing the best I damn can. The only interesting part is all I do is introduce people in that scenario. It's called a symposium. Talk to Ken about it. Then you go out to your typical class and learn from the individuals that even I look up to in this business. Purchase price on this property, okay? $5,000. The repair amount,
35.
That place
35,000
bucks.
Yeah.
the repair amount, $35,000. So our total investment, okay,
40,000.
total
Auction
investment
house.
Maybe.
is 40 grand.
I think you need a
I'm just
license.
gonna kinda
auction
separate
houses
this
too.
now.
You need some type of license.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
The property's after repaired value, once it was
60.
fixed up, the fair market value,
Or 75.
okay, of this property is $135,000.
That's bullshit.
$135,000. Now,
Where?
a lot of folks would say, okay, if we sell it, we've got to take away our investment from the fair market value. That would be a profit, okay, a profit of $95,000. What they don't show you on what's called reality TV is you'd pay half that to Uncle Sam in short-term capital gains taxes. Savvy investors like myself know there's far better ways. Yeah, you can use a 1031 exchange, sell the property, roll the entire. Now, I'm going to take, just to be a realist, guys and gals, $5,000 off for what's called costs, holding and sales costs, which means our profit's actually $90,000 after taxes, or after tax profit, after
Paying people
tax.
routine.
Okay, would be 45 grand. Some folks are going, sweet, give me a $45,000 paycheck on that in 90 days and show me how to do it,
Again.
and I'll continue to do it again and again and again. But let's maximize our profits. Let's take a look at what we can teach you to do through these types of properties, through these types of opportunities.